Hello comrades, my name is Fritz and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program New Horizons. Today we're here at Duna to rescue Thompble Kerman from orbit. Now, the good news is we have space for 2 in our landican. The bad news is all of the science is in the wrong vessel. So once we remedy that, we'll be able to go home. It's simple as that really, although things never really turn out that way, as we might find out over the next 15 minutes or so. Okay, the first thing we have to do is get Thompble out of the Duna mission spacecraft. So, and get him across to the other one. Actually, before we do that, what I'm going to do is undock from this one so that we can actually transfer the data across. We're going to just back away slowly, like this. Kerman at the helm of the Ike mission, the repurposed Ike mission spacecraft. In the meantime, what we're going to do is just hold off on the thrust here and switch over to the Duna mission spacecraft. Find the exit hatch. Okay, can we let go and take the data? Tunis Highlands, surface sample from Tunis Highlands, EVA report, and all items stored. Okay. What does that do? Review the stored data. Okay. Right, this is all of the data that we have apparently. But we also have keep all of this. But we do also have all of this data as well. But it's not actually moving any closer. Ah, I can see the magnetometer boom here on the docking camera in the top left. And there's the docking port coming into view very slowly now. And we're perfectly aligned pretty much. Oh, and slowly does it. All of the nodes are in line on the nav ball. Here we come. And what are we doing? We've actually made contact. There we go. Brilliant. Let's close that. Let's bring the whole lot home. I think that is a sensible plan. Our ejection burn is progressing well. I've just fired up the nuclear engine on the space tug, so we are propelling the spacecraft into an interplanetary trajectory. And before long, hopefully, we should actually make it home. Now, I am slowly transferring fuel from this upper stage, powered by the LV-909 engine, into this single tank of nuclear fuel, trying to maintain our efficiency. Not entirely sure how long this fuel is going to last us, as it is dangerously low. As it stands, you'll notice that we've only got 317 units of fuel left, and all of the tanks in that lander are completely dry. I personally made sure of that a couple of episodes ago. Now, how are we doing? is our orbital velocity adequate enough? Now, the difference between this rescue mission and the other one is that we left the other spacecraft in orbit, but that's only because we didn't have that much data on board to collect, and we did it with relative ease. This, however, not the case, so we're going to have to try something a bit radical. Right, folks, as you can clearly see, we have made our date with destiny with Kerbin at 19 million meters. That's 19,000 kilometers. Hopefully, we aren't going to need too much delta V to slow down. I am concerned, however, about the landing, although I should confess that I am perhaps more concerned about whether we're actually going to be able to land in the first place, because we are perilously low on fuel. I don't know what this is, it's poverty space program or something, but our fuel levels have been plaguing us since the beginning of the series. I'm trying to do things, of course, on a budget, so I guess it probably is some kind of poverty space program. But it's a budget that we have to keep to, because as you can see, we've been losing a lot of money from failed contracts over the past couple of missions. While this mission has been going on, we've overrun on our contract deadlines, so we've lost money from those shareholders, so that's not great. But we are going to reap the rewards from this mission if we can get all of our spacecraft back in one piece, cracking my knuckles in anticipation for this fiery descent into the atmosphere of Kerbin. Obviously, we're going to have to do a retrograde burn beforehand. I'm debating whether we can burn radially and intersect with the atmosphere, or do a completely retrograde kind of turnaround and work out which one is going to take the most delta V. I guess we're about to find out as we steam in towards Kerbin's gravitational pull. Actually, we haven't done too badly. We are near the orbit of Minmus. This was a pretty good encounter, if I do say so myself. And we can just swing right in. What are we thinking? I'm thinking we might just make it onto the land. Although those mountains do look pretty hairy. I will concede, didn't quite expect that. Let us go home. Thompble and Kerman. 2-year mission. And it's over. The game is thinking about loading in the planet, and let's see if we can't make that happen. Okay, I'm going to ditch this nuclear stage. We are coming in seriously hot. That thing has done us so proud. Let's see. I am going to deploy the parachutes. We have no fuel in the stage. Yeah, there's no fuel in there. Okay. I'm going to retract the solar panels. I'm going to see which way the spacecraft comes down, and then we'll decide which end we can plant the spacecraft on, because we do have landing legs on both sides, in case you hadn't noticed. No, I want to close the solar panels up. That would be most helpful if we could do that. Those parachutes are deployed. I want the landing can to survive. I want both bits of the spacecraft to survive. Hopefully that will happen. Oh god, no. Retract panels. Okay, we're going to hit the atmosphere pretty hard and pretty fast. Yep, here it comes. Wow, okay, frame rate is going to drop pretty significantly as well as it stands. This may be one hairy re-entry. I'll see you on the other side of the re-entry corridor. After an utterly terrifying re-entry corridor, the chutes have deployed and we are coming down gently at 7.5 meters per second. That has been an astonishingly successful mission. We've sent Thompble Kerman out to Duna. He got stuck in orbit. We sent Jeffman out in the Ike mission probe to get him. He came back and we soared past Kerbin. We did a retrograde braking burn. We came back near the ice caps and we survived that re-entry with loss only of the solar panels. And here we are, back on good old Kerbal. The grasslands welcome us with open arms, and view from the inverted land account from the Ike mission probe here, as we are going to head down for a picture-perfect landing. Providing we don't tip over, we should be fine. We'll turn on the SAS just to make sure nothing untoward happens, but here we go at 7 meters per second. Please don't tip over. Begging you, not now. Do not tip over. Here it comes. Touchdown. Perfect. Well, we seem to have gathered a nice haul of science from the mission. 1141.2, which is quite a lot. Well, after that resounding success at Duna, we now only have 2 contracts available, and I think we have thusly explored Gilly. And we can leave Thompble Kerman there for a bit while we attempt this one. This is an interesting one. This, I believe, is a reference to 2001: A Space Odyssey, the Stanley Kubrick epic. Study the source of the anomalous readings coming from the moon's surface. We can do that. And also, I guess we could try one of these out. I suppose we can do that at some point, but since we're going to collect science data from the surface of the moon, I guess we could take this one as well. Okay. Excellent. Well, that's been a successful episode of New Horizons. My name is Fritz, and I will, of course, see you next time for a Mooner Science Bonanza.